into a real fight wasn't right. Where can she dream here? Took a hold of her.
It's kind of funny. We've been playing this. I've been playing that song forever, ever since I first started this show. And those of you who have followed me know that that's my really, really good friend, Theron Roberson. He's a local musician here in the Northern Colorado area. And this show is all about an organization that helps individuals like Theron thrive and help other people to change the world through music. We have a very, very packed show today, folks. And the greatest thing about this is you're not going to have to hear me talk a whole lot because I don't really have a lot of time to do this today. So we are waiting for our great friend, Melissa, to be joining us. And as soon as she comes on, we will get the introduction. We'll get that going. But I'm going to get to it, and I'm going to bring on our guest real quick right now because I want to learn more about him. Saam answered an ad yesterday when I was putting it out that, hey, you know what? We've got a spot. We'd like to invite people to come and tell their story. And he started telling me about world music development. And this, again, because I am a huge fan of musicians, local musicians, these people who work their butts off and create wonderful art, and a lot of time at the detriment of themselves. You know, I am really interested, and I am thrilled to bring you guys Mr. Saam Galgoon. How are you doing, sir?
Doing wonderful, Zach. Thank you so much for having me today. It's great to be here.
Yeah. So you and I were just talking a little bit. Music has been very, very important to you your entire life. Music meant a lot to you because when you were growing up, it was an escape.
Yes, it was.
Can you tell us a little bit about you come from a very, I guess the best way to put it is you come from a very turbulent place. So can you tell us about growing up and what music meant to you?
Absolutely. Yeah, I was born originally in Iran in the 70s, and it was during the time at a very young age, I believe I was about 6 years old, when the revolution in Iran happened, and that country overnight almost, or over a few weeks, it went from a monarchy to a theocracy. And very shortly after, a war broke out between Iran and Iraq, which caused the experience of having, bombs dropped on my head and seeing what war actually does to people, to communities, how it affects the innocent bystanders. And as one of those innocent bystanders of the war, one of the escapes for me was through music. I was very fortunate in life in the aspect of having very amazing, strong, educated parents who helped us with our mental health. I didn't realize that's what they were doing for us, for myself and my brother when I was young, but music was a part of it. And whenever I needed to escape, it was an easy thing. I started with playing the piano and the keyboard, and my keyboard was my best friend, at times that if I needed to just escape what was around me and going on, I could just play some music on that keyboard, and that was extremely helpful. Then having the great opportunity of being able to escape the country and ending up landing in the United States in the late 80s, it was again through music that I was able to find a lot of connections that to this day these connections all exist, and some of these folks are my best friends to this day. And I shared with you earlier, Zach, that I was part of a band in the early to mid 90s in the Dallas area by the name of Grassroots Willie, that the makeup of the band sounded like a joke. We said it was 3 Jews, 2 Muslims, a Christian, and an atheist that walk into the bar. What do you got? You had Grassroots Willie. And that was happening for me in my early 20s, late teens. And that's when I truly realized that cliche of the power of music. We hear that, the power of music. Well, what is the power of music I've been thinking of? And that was one that I saw, how it brings people together. The other cliche of music being a universal language. I look at music that melodies don't need to be translated. A C note sounds like a C note where I sit over here in the United States, and how it sounds if you go all the way across the world in China. So it's how the listener interprets that note, the combination of those notes, that music does become a very personal experience for many people, as I have experienced it and seen it. So that's a little bit about me and why music is so important to me and what it's done for my life.
Well, I'd like to introduce you to my great co-host and the person who makes this possible, Miss Melissa Lozada. How are you doing, sweetheart?
Hi, Zach. I'm good. Hi, Sam. Nice to meet you.
Hi, Melissa. How are you?
Good. Thank you. I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. I've been busy and doing projects and all of that, but a good busy.
Chasing dogs throughout the neighborhood?
Oh, my goodness. My dog. He ran out the house the other day, and yeah, just imagine me running around trying to get him back in.
Yeah. So
that's a Colorado problem. Yeah.
Yeah, she's actually in California, so you know the streets are a little more dangerous there. But Melissa, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do at ONEHOPE Wines, and just introduce yourself real quick.
Yes. So, well, I am Melissa Lozada, and I am a cause entrepreneur with ONEHOPE Winery. So, cause entrepreneur is I give hope. I give hope, and I do that by sharing wine. ONEHOPE is a charity-based winery, and we're out in Rutherford, Napa Valley. And we have donated over 10 million so far in donations. And we support over 40,000 nonprofits locally and globally. And that's any 501c3 nonprofit. And how we do that is we donate 20% of every purchase to nonprofit organizations. So our 4 pillars of health is clean water, health, education, and world hunger. And in addition, you get to choose your own 501c3 nonprofit that you would like to support with your purchases. And you can do this through our wine club. You can do this through any purchase, or you can just simply call me and we can hook up a fundraiser virtually. We could do it online, and we could do it in person. So it's nice to hear your story, Sam, as I was coming on, because for me, wine and music is totally relatable. You bring people together. And that's what we do with our wine. We always say it's about the wine, but it's not about the wine. Our mission and our vision is not about, hey, let's go get drunk. Our vision and our mission is, hey, you want to purchase this bottle? Well, it's going to do some good for somebody. And, that's what we do. That's our goal. And we're also organic, and there's no preservatives added into our wines. And, it's just a great cause. So ONEHOPE.
And
hope.
Yeah. And then that was something that I was noticing on your the event that you guys have coming up. You guys are very, very conscious when it comes to the earth. So I know that the organic thing speaks to you really well. Melissa, can you please do me a favor and tell us about this wonderful little poster that we've got here?
Oh, so I created a flyer here, and what we do with One Hope is we create event links when we want to fundraise for a nonprofit. So that way we make sure that that purchase goes directly to that nonprofit. So what I did was I entered your nonprofit information into our system, and I created a fundraising link. So this link is open for about 90 days. And you can share it with your friends. You can share it with your family. If you're looking to buy wine or host an event, Mother's Day is coming. And we also have a beautiful gifting department as well. So 10% of every purchase will go to world music development through this link with One Hope Wine.
And then again, the other 10% goes to One Hope charities. The One Hope Foundation, which does work on the 4 pillars. It's such a wonderful program, and I love being able to work with One Hope Wine, and I am so glad that you and I, Melissa, have hooked up, and we're going to continue this show. Saam, what are you looking for when it comes to musicians? What are you hoping to do with musicians? How do they play a part in your world?
Well, musicians are the pillars of our organization that I say without music, we have nothing, because it is through the power of music that we're uniting people and raising funds through that power. So they're extremely important to us, and that importance was really brought to the forefront during COVID, that we saw how musicians and performing artists were affected during COVID. And at that time, we did shift our focus a little bit, because we were more focused towards community causes and giving back to causes that we consider the 5 pillars, which are education, housing, nutrition, healthcare, and economic development. And we started focusing more towards the musician and their survival at that time, really, you know? So music and musicians are extremely important to myself and the organization. What I would want from any music, from my friends to any musician across the world, really, music is a tool, and any tool can be used the right way or the wrong way. And I want musicians to understand that and to be responsible with that tool, to be responsible with that power. That has the power to do a lot of good. The music really does. So let's continue to keep that in mind, and not ever forget it, and not just use it during times that we're facing disasters. There are definitely organizations such as Farm Aid that continually are using music to raise funds for farmers across the country. And that's a concept of World Music Development, our nonprofit, to continuously raise funds for causes and musicians around the world. No matter what's going on, we always need the help. It's not when there's a disaster only.
And I think that's such a great point right there. You know, we as a species, we hear stuff like, you know, just in the last week, there were over 100 tornadoes in 2 days that landed in the heartland of America. Okay. And unfortunately, there was loss of life. My wife, her family was directly affected by the heavy rain in Kansas. One house and one business was forced underwater. There was a lot of loss. I mean, one life is too many. And so you know that people are going to come together and they're going to work together to do something, but it shouldn't take a tragedy. We should be able to do this on every day, because where we may not know that there's a tragedy, there are tragedies everywhere. There are tragedies, you know, there are people who need our help all the time. And I think that, you know, that's one of the things that you, Melissa, and I all have in common, is that we're trying to find ways to work to support the everyday thing that goes on, where my tragedy may be not as severe as, 6 deaths and tornadoes ripping up my house, it's still something going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
So, Melissa, did you have anything?
Yeah, well, it's Saam, right? Saam, am I saying it correctly?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's correct.
So I just, for a girl that grew up in New York, born and raised in the projects, I just want to say music was my everything. And I totally relate to your story. And when it comes to mental health, for me, music is life as well as fitness is life.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a personal trainer at day, and I fundraise at night. But music has always been something that has been a part of me and my family. And I mean, I married a man in the music business, so it really is, when it comes to your mental. When you just find a good song that relates to you, it can really just change your mindset. So what you put in your mind, what you put in your head, what you read daily, what you listen to is so important for the soul. So I totally love this nonprofit, and I'm really happy to learn about it. And I'm also working with a nonprofit, LULAC, and we are going to start digging into mentorship programs and getting our high school students ready for life. And we're going to be hosting and doing a lot of events for them, and one of them is music. So maybe we can connect on that, and maybe I can pick your brain.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, sorry, go ahead.
No, go on ahead, please.
Well, Melissa, thank you so much for sharing that with me as far as what music has done for you. I always love hearing that from anybody, and I hear it a lot from a lot of different people. So thank you so much for sharing that. The other thing, I wanted to thank you for the support of ONEHOPE for world music development. That generosity means a lot to us. And I would love to collaborate down the line and see how our organization and myself, I can give back to your mission, your cause, and what you're doing.
Awesome. Would love that. Definitely. It's all about making an impact and helping one another and supporting one another and bringing awareness, which is one of the reasons why I love this podcast, because, we learn about so many different nonprofits out there, and people need to learn, people need to know about who you are and how, how we can support one another. So yes, I totally agree and would love that.
So looking here on your website, which is worldmusicdevelopment.org, the vision statement is create peace through music. Very, very simple, very, very straightforward. And the mission statement: enhance and enrich communities by integrating music into various aspects of life. Please don't try this at home. I'm a trained professional. This ultimately achieved through global artist partnerships, comprehensive music programs, and unwavering support for nonprofit initiatives. It's gorgeous, man. I love it. And let's also get this out there. The two websites that we're going to be showing today were created by Saam. He created these. This is one of the other things that he does. He's not just the nonprofit guy. He also has this going on. Saam, you have this Elevation Music Festival coming up. Can you tell us a little bit about that, please?
Yeah, Elevation Music Festival is our largest annual fundraiser for our organization currently. The festival started in 2020. However, in 2020, World Music Development wasn't the presenter or producer. We were partners in presenting it by handling some of the logistics for the presenter at that time. With some of the things that changed in 2023, the World Music Development basically took over ownership in the presentation of the festival. So this is going to be the second year that we're presenting this. This year, this is happening August 16th and 17th in the beautiful town of Alma, Colorado. I call it the little big town in the Central Mountains in Colorado. Our claim to fame for our town is that we are the highest incorporated town in North America. We sit at 10,578 feet above sea level. So this is some high altitude music. You know, you got to be prepared for this. As we say to people, come with your snow gear, even in August. You never know, you know.
Yeah.
It will be sunny and beautiful, and then later in the evening, it can be dumping snow. But the format of the festival this year, we made some changes last year, the last couple of years. This was a ticketed event for general admissions. However, this year, the general admissions are free. However, we are charging for camping, and we have some VIP tickets. We call it our elevated experience that provides complimentary food and beverages throughout the weekend, and hanging out with the artists and meet and greets with the artists. We're going to be announcing the lineup here soon, within another week or so. We're about 80% there on our schedule and final lineup. Let's see, what else can I share with you?
You are looking, you're looking for vendors. And that's where I ended up getting that information about, you're looking for people who, you know, you've got very, very particular rules when it comes to vendors. They have to, you know, you need to make sure that, you know, everything is set up. They're, the insurance, the disposable cookware, or not cookware, servingware, and stuff like that, which really talks about how, you know, what we were talking about with the organic. You know, this is something that it's a very green event, right?
It is. You know, once you get to experience Alma, you realize that I really am fortunate to live in a very beautiful part of our country. And many of us over here have that mindset because we live right in nature and we see the beauty of it every day. And because of that, we want to make sure we're good stewards of it. So we make sure that's reflected in our events as well.
You know, that is one thing about us here in Colorado. Look, we are lucky that we are living in one of the most beautiful areas in this great nation of ours. You know, Colorado. Sorry, Melissa, I know that
it's okay. I love Colorado,
but you know, I mean, we're so lucky that we get to go outside every day and see mountains, and there's still, you know. This is so funny. It snowed 23 feet up in some of the higher elevations just the other day. And it was like, oh my God, really? It's you know, now May. but you know, I mean.
That was our town. Yeah. This last weekend, we had 2 feet of snow in our driveway on Saturday morning, I believe I want to say. Yeah, exactly. You walk out there and it's almost up to your knees at the end of April. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, it's great because, you know, it'll be 100 degrees down here in the Greeley area, and you'll look up in the mountains and there'll still be snow up there. And it is one of the coolest things in the world. You know, you get to see that.
What better reason to escape the city in August? It's really hot, and come up to the mountains and enjoy some awesome music and spend a couple of days in the mountains and camp out. So,
yeah, I'm almost thinking that, you know, this would be a great place for, I don't know, beautiful One Hope Wines representative to come out and talk about her wines from California with her family, who's, I don't know, maybe her husband has something to do with music. I mean, I'm just saying, not saying, just saying, you know. So,
Well, I have
but
ideas are running in my head, and I'm sure you got, I love the quote that, by the way, Melissa, you had on that banner on that QR code. But there's definitely thoughts going through my head that I'm going to be sharing with both of you offline once we're done with this. So yeah, just watch out. This is just starting out, guys. Yeah.
Awesome.
there you go. The people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. Yep. That is true. So that has to do with what we were saying earlier. We don't know if we can change the world for everyone unless we try. We don't know if we can solve everyone's problems if we don't do it. We have to get together. We have to try. I mean, that's so very important. And I think it's just a vital thing that if, we're getting together with a group of people who, and introducing great programs like yours, whose focus is, look, there's a lot of insanity out there right now. I mean, we're witnessing it every day. And I like the way that you are taking and bringing music into this, because where my kind of music is not what people would typically think we're relaxing, it's, to me, if I'm having just an insane day and I throw in, I throw in some of my bands, and I'm just going to show my insanity here. But like, if I throw in a little bit of Lamb of God, I become relaxed. I love that. It helps relax me. If I'm kind of in a depressed mood, I throw in Faith No More, and their goofiness just really kind of picks me up and lifts me up. And, my wife, it just drives her nuts. So she's a country girl. She listens to country, and she sits there and just shakes her head and like, how do you not want to hurt yourself?
That's so funny.
Music has a tendency to do this to everyone. Every single one of us view it the same, or view it differently. Do we not?
Yes. And it's funny because I'm thinking about my mom right now. My mom, may she rest in peace. But my mom loved music. I mean, if I touched her radio, it was on. We could not touch her music. But she slept with music every single night. It had to be on low, and she would just sleep. And I would always say to myself, how could she sleep like just listening, to music? Like, wouldn't it get annoying? But I realized, down the line, many years past, that was soothing for her. That relaxed her and put her to sleep. So, always when I was pregnant with my first daughter, we would put headphones on my stomach because we love music so much. We will always say these kids are going to sleep through music because we always playing music. They're going to sleep through the parties. They're going to sleep through it all. And this girl was born loving music. She has self-taught her own instruments. She plays guitar. She plays the ukulele. She plays the flute. She plays the piano, and she self-taught herself. We thought she would, become a star one day in music, but she took another creative route. However, just music is everything, and everyone needs to learn about world music. We need to put it out there. So
absolutely.
Thank you.
Well, so I want to ask you one final question. Oh no, go on ahead, please.
Well, I was going to share, that when I started paying attention to how much music is there in just my life and perhaps other people's life. And Melissa, you said that very well. Music starts for many of us prior to birth even. A lot of parents do that, to play music for the baby who's in the womb and everything. And then right after birth, what does it start with? It's the lullabies. That's the mother singing to the baby. But then even look at your life on a general basis. From when we turn on the TV, the commercials have music on them. There is music on the radio. So it's not just when it's music on its own. There's a lot of other things that we got going on that music is the background of it. So that's something that's gotten my attention over the years, of how much music is actually constantly around us that we may not be consciously aware of it, that there is music and it's influencing us while we're hearing it, but we're not conscious about that influence. So that's why in marketing, it's a great method of marketing, to use music in marketing.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just, I love the way that, music is individuality, even though, many people love it. Oh, I think it's great. We've been talking to Saam I almost messed it up. Galgoon. I'm sorry, I did mess it up. Galgoon from
Yes.
World Music Development. And I want to just ask you to please tell people how to reach out to you.
Yeah. The best way to reach out to me through our website at worldmusicdevelopment.org, and my email address right there at the bottom of the screen, which is saam@worldmusicdevelopment.org. And I believe my phone number was provided earlier as well. You're more than welcome to text would be the best thing, because I do get a lot of calls and my voicemail does fill up in half an hour, and everybody's always mad at me. Your voicemail is full. So text and email are the best methods of communication. Please get engaged with us, get involved with us. We have a lot of stuff on our website. We just recently introduced a music business program, online course that the introduction of it is on our membership platform. We are providing opportunities. Here's another one for musicians to be able to have a side gig. Musicians are always, from my experience, a lot of times struggling financially to do their art full time. They have to, it's hard to do that and keep a full-time job, family and everything. So we've actually created an affiliate program for our artists around the world or music enthusiasts, and we're giving 50% of the sales from our membership platform to musicians who sign up for this affiliate program. That's another way that we saw as far as what's a way in economic development that we can give back to the music community. And that's one way that we're allowed to do it. Another way to get engaged with us is through our events, is through Elevation Music Festival, just helping us pass the word and letting your friends know about it and joining us in August. We will soon have our volunteer sign-up list posted on the website. I believe it's on the website. I just haven't made an official announcement or send out an email yet, and we'll do that here soon. And if you are a vendor around the state of Colorado or outside of the state and you do come to Colorado, please check out our vendor opportunities that we have. And I wanted to thank you, Zach. Thank you, Melissa. It's so great to be here, be among like-minded people, these crazy people that they think they're the ones that can change the world, And what I was going to add to this, I've heard half of the game is showing. This is what you were saying earlier, Zach, that there's always something happening. And some people, well, why me? And how can I make a difference? Well, the difference is I've heard that half of the game is just showing up. So if we all did that just to show up, to give back a little and help each other out, I think the world would be a much nicer and much more beautiful place.
I absolutely agree with you. And now, Melissa, I'm going to let you take over the show real quick and do your part, and let's talk about some wines.
All righty, my favorite part. So, as you know, this is where we are fundraising today, and we're fundraising for World Music Development. And again, your purchase will support this nonprofit. I also want to talk about gifting, because, gifting is important. We have Mother's Day gifts. And as you can see, we have been, on Forbes and all kinds of wonderful magazines that display our beautiful bottles. Not only do we have beautiful bottles, like I said before, they're organically good. They are delicious. No sugar added, no preservatives added. And it's the perfect gifts for moms. I call it mommy juice. So if you click on the link, when you click on the link and you go into our gift shop, you're going to see all these beautiful gifts that are on sale right now for 20% off. And you get to choose any bottle you like for that gift. So check that out. And I also want to share that our trio of love language is back. It went out of stock for a while. And these beautiful little babies, these are my favorite little bottles. And I remember when they first launched them, they're just so cute. They're eco-friendly, so it's a little smaller than a regular bottle. And they taste delicious. So we have a red blend, we have a rosé, and we have a Chardonnay. These three are also a purchase with purchase. So if you purchase 6 bottles, you can add these 3 bottles for just $30 to your case. So these wines are wonderful. The red wine, wonderful, nice, and it's not too sweet, not too dry. It's wonderful. Pairs well with wonderful cheeses like Vermont white cheddar. That's my favorite with this wine. But they're delicious. So try them out. They're only $20, and for our wine club members, it's even cheaper. So yeah, there you go.
Yeah, and those wines there, Stephanie had sent me those last year, and
they're so good.
The rosé and the red blend, and yeah, those were really, really good. I did enjoy them. So and tell us some of the advantages of the wine club, please.
So the advantages of the wine club is you save up to 20. And what I love is that we offer free shipping to our wine club members, and not many wineries do that. So it's expensive to ship wine, but because we donate, to nonprofits, and we have donated so much around the world, we're able to do this for our wine club members, where we give you free shipping on 6+ bottles. And it's also free shipping in between. You can skip your month anytime you want. So there's a 1, 2, or 3 month increment. We have a build your own option, so you can swap out your bottles at any time. And then we have a curated option where our winery picks the wines for you. And usually a lot of people like to go for that. If you're not too familiar with wines, you get the curated option. So you get to taste many different wines and reserves. And 10%, 20% is going to nonprofits. So again, every purchase is supporting nonprofits all around the world. And at checkout, all you have to do is choose your charity. And if it's not in there, you can type it in. So we got you.
Yeah. And again, you can always visit our Facebook page. You can go to its Community Pay It Forward One Hope Fundraiser. Go to our page. I guess I need to shut these so you can actually see it. But if you go to our page, we ask you, share your favorite bottles, share your favorite recipe. Tell us what you think about the One Hope wines. Tell people what you think, and tell them about your experience, and let's have a lot of fun. So Community Pay It Forward One Hope Fundraiser. It is in a group, so it's impossible for me to share the link. I will have it in the description of this interview once we're done and I release it to YouTube and everywhere else.
Yes, and on that note, when you do try One Hope, we have it's just wonderful. You try One Hope, and then when you review it on our website, One Hope gives you points, and those reward points are cash towards your next purchase. So that's another thing I wanted to mention real quick. One Hope, not only are you donating to nonprofits, you're receiving 5% back on all of your purchases at the same time. And when you're a wine club member, we're giving you gifts, $500 worth of gifts, and you get, I think there's there's 2 reserves that you get. You get an iconic, you get a reserve, and you also get a $200 credit. So if you ever go to Napa, you can visit One Hope, and our chefs will gladly chef it up for you. So that's another beautiful perk that we have. with our.
And I know that you and the Goddess of the Grape, you guys both love doing that. You love doing all the events and everything. Once again, here is the QR code. You simply scan that code that Melissa has worked very, very hard on. You just scan that code, you make any purchase, and our wonderful guest and our wonderful highlighted nonprofit of the month, World Music Development, gets 10% of every bottle you buy, and 10% also goes to the 4 pillars. Melissa, can you remind us of the 4 pillars, please?
Yes, it's world hunger, clean water, health, and education.
And that you'll be able to find that QR code all over Community Pay It Forward and the PAC channel pages all month long. So, Saad, thank you, sir. Saam, thank you, sir, for joining us. And I look forward to talking to you again on the 15th when we do our half-month show. Melissa, as always, I'm so glad that we got to get this back together. And I will talk to you both very, very soon. Saam, I will send you all this information when we're done. I will direct an email that connects you to as well. So, but I want to thank you both so very much. Once again, if you want to get a hold of Saam, it's Saam at worldmusicdevelopment.org. That's SAAM at worldmusicdevelopment.org. Or you can text him 970-389-8197, 970-389-8197. I'm not sure. Maybe I've already been drinking today or something, because I am just having one hell of a time talking. So
words are hard sometimes.
yeah. This English language that I speak, whatever. So, but again, I want to thank you guys both very, very much, and wish you both a great evening. And I will talk to you both soon.
Thank you.
Thank you,
No
Zach. Thank you,
problem.
Melissa.
We'll see you
Keep up
soon.
the great work.
Bye. Next up, we've got a wonderful introduction to one of our brand new partners. She's a wonderful, hardworking person, and they have, it's absolutely the best tagline I've ever heard in my life. And I think that you're going to enjoy it too. This is brand new partner, brand new family member, a sister to our program, Sarah Cuoco. Late last year, I had the opportunity to meet this lady, and we actually met probably earlier last year in our Colorado group with Alignable. And you and I had some conversations before, and there was interest there, but then we really started to talk about it when it came time to for the 22-hour podcast. And I'm being joined right now by Sarah Cuoco. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, Zach. Thank you for having me. How are you today?
I'm doing okay. Not broken yet.
That's good.
Close, but not yet.
Battered and bruised, maybe, but
yeah, battered, bruised, and maybe a little uncomfortable. But it is what it is. So you have one of the best taglines I've ever heard. Enough fooling around. Let's unzip those jeans. Tell me about what you do.
Well, what I do is I work with a company that provides we do a DNA test. It's just a swab test. And what we're looking for is health variants. So we pull a panel of 103 different genetic health variants. We're looking for things that impact an individual's healthy foundation, the basic functions. And my tagline, as a quick little history, that's my slogan. And it was actually born out of frustration of people. I've been doing this for over 5 years, and people just not really getting it, or not really believing that it's possible that we can actually look at specific genes that affect your health, and then we are also able to custom compound a personalized formula based on your results. And, you know, people are like, oh, I'd rather do this, or I don't know about that. And it just was literally born of frustration. It's like, enough fooling around. Literally, this is where it came from. Enough fooling around. Let's unzip those genes. Let's look inside, see what your blueprint has, where the typos or, you know, the lines don't quite connect, and help you support those.
People really don't understand a lot of times the importance of what they eat. Everything about you is affected by what you eat. Your energy, your obviously your weight, your you know,
Everything.
stamina. Yeah, everything about you, your mood.
Mm-hmm.
What
Yeah,
what are the things?
Go ahead.
Yeah,
Sorry.
going ahead. No, going ahead.
I would say our gut health, our brain cognition, our moods, our inflammatory response, our immune system, literally every function of our body requires good nutrition to function optimally. And sometimes certain functions where we might have a variant, a genetic variant, meaning maybe there's a little group of genes that affect our, let's say, our inflammatory response. Maybe we've got some issues there. We've inherited some genetic variants. And so we need to give those genes some extra nutritional support so that they can function better. That's what we do. That's what it comes down to. Because, and as we're kids, we all hear, you know, got to fuel your body. Well, it's the truth. It really is. And you can put the fake stuff in there, you know, all the extra, the so-called energy drinks and stuff, but those have so many different side effects. They're not actual nutrition. So your body's not getting the nutrients it needs to function like it needs to and wants to.
You know, that really brings it up to where you hear, you know, this person's got the metabolism where they can eat anything that they want, and, you know, their body doesn't blow up. And, you know, I eat one Oreo and I gain 35 pounds. That has a lot to do with what you guys, what you're looking at, right?
Absolutely.
The genetics on, yeah, okay, you can probably eat 2 Oreos and not blow up if you take these other steps.
Well, there is no, and I like to say this too, there's no magic wand, there's no silver bullet. There is no one answer to optimal health for anybody. It doesn't exist. Our bodies aren't made that way. We need proper nutrition. We need plenty of water. We need sleep. We need exercise. We need quiet time, whatever that means to an individual. I mean, there's a lot of different pieces and parts. And, you know, a lot of people think, well, if I do this, I'll be okay. So with me, one of the interesting things I discovered in my own genetic testing, I've always struggled with my weight, even as a child. And among other things, I also retained water really a lot, and different things. And what I learned from my testing is, I used to like to say it's in my genes. I'm overweight because of my genes. I inherited this from my parents. And my sister and I both were disappointed when we got our tests back and realized that the genes that are predominantly responsible for how we and where we store our fat, we didn't inherit any variants there. We have no genetic variant there. But what I did discover is that I have a lot of genetic variants in the genes that are most responsible for my detoxification, and that can affect your weight.
Do people use the genes thing? It's all in my genes. Do they use that too much as a cop out?
I think they use it because I think they use it out of, for one thing, it sounds good. It's an excuse. You say, well, nothing I can do about it. Ha 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 ha. That's a fallacy. And I think too, because they don't understand, they think, well, my parents are heavy, or my parents have diabetes, or my parents have heart disease, so of course I'm predisposed. That may be true, and it may not be. You don't automatically inherit everything from both parents. We only have so much room in our DNA. And so we inherit things from both sides. So you could, but you could also be completely variant free. I'm sure, I know that, in my father has some of the FTO genes, but my sister and I, neither one inherited them. But this whole thing about it's in my genes, there's nothing I can do about it. The genes we look at, the variants we look at, we're looking at actionable genes. And I'm going to explain that really quickly because it plays into this. In our body, we have a lot of a lot of genes and markers that determine like how tall we're going to be, how we're built, what color our eyes are, if we have a unibrow, if our middle finger is longer than the others, or those things are not actionable, meaning they are what they are.
Oh, well, they are. Okay.
They're kind of written in stone. Okay. But then we have all these other genes that are called actionable genes. Those are the ones that we can personally influence with our nutrition, our exercise, our hydration, all of the things we do to promote our health. And so you may not be predisposed to be overweight like me, but if I'm not detoxing well and I don't know that, and I'm not taking steps to support that, I'm still going to have a weight issue. If that makes sense.
Yeah. When this happens, somebody who maybe is predisposed, you can figure out how to help them conquer that predisposition, or lessen the effects of it, maybe.
What we do is when we identify, I'm not a medical provider of any sort. I've just got a lot of experience with this. So when we have an area, like say for me, I'll use myself as an example again, detoxification. We can't fix those genes, but what we can do is based on peer-reviewed studies on nutritional research, we learn what nutrients used together support a genetic function best. And so we apply those into a custom formula. So every time when somebody does their DNA test, they get 11 reports, which break down like the heart health, inflammation, healthy BMI, energy, 10 areas. We also then take the top 22 genes from those 10 reports and create a code complex, which is a personalized supplement based on those 22 genes, which we choose because they're like the heavy hitters in those areas. And that's where we apply the nutritional research. So we can't fix them. We can't change them. We can support them by giving them the nutrients that help them function better.
Okay. I know one of the things that you and I did when we first really introduced each other to each other, when we had you on Footprints Forward, and you met Stephanie Samos. And this has led to amazing stuff because you guys have been able to work together on creating a healthier situation for her son. And it's kind of one of those things that, everything's not going to work for everybody, but there are certain things that you're doing that even though there's no you don't have that ability to say this is scientifically proven to work, to fix this, or whatever it is, you guys were able to put in place something that is working for her.
Well, it's along with the reports. We don't simply say, here's your gene stuff, here's your gene results, here's your custom supplement, take this and everything will be wonderful. We focus on, the nutritional supplement is pretty amazing because it is specifically geared towards your unique genetic variants, your health variants. Okay. So we're providing that as a foundation. I always like to talk about our health as like a building. If you have a solid foundation, everything you do above that, you're going to benefit from even more. The walls are going to stay stronger. The floors aren't going to sag. But if you have a weak foundation, it doesn't really matter how good everything is you put on top. If that foundation's weak, you're going to have issues. It may not be immediately, but at some point in time, you're going to have issues. We focus on the foundation. which is what our supplement is based on. And it is scientifically based. It is peer-reviewed studies. It is nutrients that are proven to help support these genetic functions. Having said that, we also provide lifestyle recommendations, other things you can do to support your health, your genetic variants. We include, which could be, it could be different forms of exercise, things for your mental health, foods to avoid, foods you might want to make sure you're getting plenty of. So it's not just, here's our test, here's a supplement. It's here's our test, here's your story, here's what we can do to help support your foundation, and here's the things you can do to help support it.
Sarah, who are some of the people that you guys have had great luck with? Like, you know, I'm just kind of wondering. I know someone who is suffering greatly with some of the symptoms of like menopause.
Mm.
Is there any connection there that you know what you guys are doing could really help her?
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of different questions you asked in there, but hormones are part of our genetic functioning, and so we don't do like a test specifically on hormones, but it's all tied together. Gut health affects that. Our brain health affects that. Our detoxification affects that. Our inflammatory response there. So it all weaves together to make the fabric of who we are. Everybody has a different experience with this. I can't say, it's not like if you do, say an energy drink, like, oh, you're going to get this massive burst of energy. I can't say that. We can't tell what's going to happen or how you're going to feel or how you're going to benefit in the long run. We do know that from results that people have shared with us, myself personally, my health has improved. I had a condition that has pretty much become non-existent for me. It was actually causing so much pain. It was difficult for me to truly get out and enjoy walking and hiking like I do. My dad's A1C, his kidney numbers, he's diabetic. He's a stage 4 diabetic. His numbers improved. His heart numbers improved. Those are some common things, but we can't say what's going to happen for an individual because number one, we don't know what your genetic variants are until you test, but we don't do medical advice.
Right.
And also because these are predispositions to health issues. So having something come up in your test, it doesn't say, oh, you have this problem. It says you're genetically predisposed to have this, whether you're experiencing it now or it comes up later. Again, talk about the foundation. Some things can hang on for a while, but sooner or later they can get triggered. We really don't know because we don't know where your body is in that journey. There's no way to know. All we know is when people do this and they take this nutritional supplement and consistently and for an extended period of time, this is not like a quick fix. You're not going to take them for a week and say, whoo, I'm all better. It doesn't work that way.
Right.
So what we do, people that stick with it, people that want that incorporate it into what they're doing, it's pretty rare. It's not unheard of, but it's pretty rare that someone doesn't have noticeable improvement in their health. Some people don't feel different, but when you look at their numbers, my husband's a really good example of that. He feels different in the sense of, I think he feels good. He doesn't feel like, his energy's good. But one of the things that for him, you can't see it, but he has a lifelong history of erratic blood pressure. It's always been all over the board. When he went into the Air Force, they made him go on to monitoring for like 2 weeks solid because they were like, what is the deal here? He doesn't have that problem anymore. Now that since he's been on his supplement within probably, I think 4 or 5 months, his blood pressure stabilized, and it still is now going on 5.5 years later.
That's amazing. This may sound like a really silly question, but well, it is a really silly question. Is there ever been a case where somebody comes in and they have screwed up their genetics so bad, they've mistreated their genetics so bad that with this treatment, they have adverse effects to it? Reflex?
Reflex?
I'm starting to create a new language today, you know? I mean, look, you got to excuse me. I talk for a living.
That's okay. That's all right. I'm not really sure. So how do I answer that? Some people, it's not that they've screwed up their genetics, because your genes are what they are. But if you've got issues and you're not taking care of them, those genetic functions are not going to improve, and they can get worse. But it's because it's building up in the body. So the one thing that we do notice is sometimes people who have not been taking very good care of themselves, or people that are just a little more sensitive, might have a more difficult time adjusting. And I hate using the word detox, because people instantly think, oh, colon or this or special is going to flush me. And that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about a cellular detoxification. And so some people respond really strongly, others don't. Some people have to start this very slowly, especially if they've never done any supplementation, or they haven't in a very long time. They haven't been eating well. They're not doing anything to really support their health. We encourage them to start slowly. So the normal amount of a supplement that someone would take is 10 capsules a day, or 2 scoops. And I'll explain, because this is all made from raw ingredients. There's nothing off the shelf. That's how we customize it. And it can be kept in a powder form or put into capsules. So having said that, a typical daily dose for an adult is 10 capsules. But if you haven't been really doing anything to support your health, if this is like your first time really supplementing, first time really paying attention, you need to start out a little bit slower. Some people need to start out slow and then go very slow for a few weeks. Other people start out with 2 or 3 twice a day. Feel good, go ahead and bump it up. As long as you feel good, up to that 10 today. We usually recommend dividing it into twice a day. So 5 and 5. But that's an individual thing too. And it has a lot to do with genetics. And some people are going to detox. If they detox really well, they seem to have a less of an issue with it. Although I'm like the exception to the rule. I have a lot of detox issues. But my first month on this, I felt amazing. Second month was like, eh. And then I came back, and that's normal too. That's part of the process when we're talking cells, because cells have a lifespan, and for most of them, it's 3 to 4 months. So it takes at least that 4 months to really get in everything into a full cycle. So all of the cells are benefiting from all of the nutrients. That's usually about the time people notice hitting like a stride. Like if they've had a tough time, that's about the time that things are going to smooth out. If they didn't have a tough time, it just seems to get better. Personally, mine, I kind of like did a dip, but I just stuck with it. And, I'll be 61 here in a couple months, and I feel healthier than I did when I was in my 30s.
Yeah, as you and I were talking about a little bit earlier, there were times I felt a lot healthier when I was in my 30s too, but I wasn't, I was able to handle what I do now. Back then a lot better. You guys work with individuals, but you are starting to show real benefits with practitioners. Explain how this works out, please.
It's really simple. So yeah, we work with individuals. In other words, you can contact me and say, hey, I want to have my test done. And then I do a report review with you, go over what the results are, and you can order your supplement, do the powder or the capsules, whatever you like, 30 days, 45 days, 60 days, whatever. I kind of walk you through that whole process. But we've had a lot of growth, especially probably the last 4 to 6 months, with practitioners who are coming on board because they want to offer this service to their clients within their practice. And when I say practitioners, can be an MD, a DO, a functional nutritionist, a naturopath doctor, a chiropractor, acupuncturist, life coach, health coach. And so we're having a lot more practitioners sign up for that reason, which is phenomenal. We love it because they're able to reach more people than we can individually. Also, it can be helpful when it comes to people who we cannot process, like health savings account payments and stuff like that, but your practitioner might be able to. And so if they can offer this to you through their practice, then they might be able to get that covered that way. So that opens doors for people.
Yeah, so this is something that, you know, if you've got any curiosity about, this is something in which you should always talk to your doctor before you do anything.
Absolutely.
You should always talk to your doctor before you do anything. But this is a program that if you introduce your doctor to what we're talking about, you know, there's a chance that your health savings can take and make, you know, lessen the stress of this on you.
Possibly.
So, you know,
Possibly. Everybody's health HSA accounts are all set up differently. So it really is an administrative question. And I usually direct people to go back to their administrator and find out what's covered. I will say this on the, you know, talking to your doctor, you don't need to talk to your doctor to have a genetic test done unless you're going to go, you want to try to go through their service for that. But even an individual, because we're not providing, there's no medication, even in the supplement, there's no medication. It's all raw, natural ingredients, vitamins, minerals, micronutrients. So the genetic part, or the testing part of it, though, doesn't require anything other than just a DNA swab. What we do like to see is when people, especially if they're working through a practitioner or not, take their results once they have them, once we've gone through it so they understand it, and share those with their practitioner. Because unfortunately, not a lot of practitioners are very well versed in genetics, but it is growing. There's a lot more interest and a lot more training becoming available. But like my DO, our DO, fascinated by genetics. And so he was like, we took him copies of our tests and he kept them. He like literally tucked him under his arm weird. He says, okay, well, thanks guys. See you later.
This right here is kind of proving one of the things that you said, and this is on your Unzip Those Genes page. You guys, it's not just about the supplement itself, it's about everything. And this is giving you tips on what you can do. Tell us about your free ebook.
Yeah, it's very simple tips, but things I think people think are so simple they don't matter. Right. Or they forget because it's like, oh, well, yeah, I know that. It's like, okay, but are you doing it? So it's like I said, 9 easy tips for healthy aging. And it includes really just those basic things that we all need to be doing in addition to, you know, yes, eating properly, supplementing for where we need it, exercising, sleep, all that stuff. But yeah, anybody can grab that if they want to just go to my website, unzipthosegenes.com. And it is genes, Genes, in case anybody was wondering. Yeah. Or you can use sarahcuoco.com. They go to the same place. And they can go ahead and sign up and get on that. That'll put them in my newsletter, which I'm not one of those people that sends something out like every day. I actually am pretty proud of myself if I get something out every month or every couple of weeks.
You know what, Sarah? I just recently started putting out 2 a week, and I'm going to tell you something. If it wasn't for using the program that we're both using this program now. If it wouldn't have made my life so much easier, I'm like you. If I got 1 off or 2 off throughout the month, I was a happy person. But right. Tanya has made this so great for us, right. And she's also a brand new partner. So, what if you could really grab a hold of somebody and go, you know what, just do this and let us work. Let us see what we can do. What would that be? What would you tell them?
Do the test. Let's do the test. Let's get the DNA test done. Because that's where it all starts. We can't do anything until we know what your body's basically struggling with. What are the areas that are causing your body? We hear from people all the time that are like, I'm doing everything right and I still don't feel right. Well, if you've, like I said, it gets back to that foundation. If your foundation has issues and you're trying all this stuff up here, your body's still doing this. It's still fighting back and forth. If we can get that foundation solid, you're going to benefit more from everything else.
Are you guys finding the same? This is something that I just thought of. Remember, I was telling you before we started recording that this was going to happen. Are you guys finding out a lot of the same information as like the DNA tests and stuff like that? Or are you guys finding, are they two completely different tests? I mean, because, you know, on some of those DNA tests, it'll go that, hey, you know what? This was in your ancestry, high blood pressure, stuff like that. You need to watch out for it. You know?
We do have the ability now, just in the last couple of months, if you had a DNA test done, like say through 23andMe or Ancestry.com, if you had the health test done, we're able to help you take that information. We walk you through where to find it and transfer that into our system so that you could still get a custom supplement. I have had so many people in the last 5+ years say, I already had a test. Can't you just use that? And so I can get my custom supplement. And we weren't able to, and now we can, just in the last couple months. It's less expensive. I will say you do not get all of the other reports. So you don't get the 10 areas. You don't get the additional lifestyle recommendations, but a lot of those reports do have that information. Like your 23andMe, there's a lot of information in there. I just did one for somebody the other day. We transferred her information. She was like, I don't want I don't want more information. I have a lot of information. What I want to know is what's going to help support me nutritionally. What kind of supplement can I get and what's going to be in it?
Yeah. You know, I was just kind of thinking about that, is that, you know, you would start my report and mine would look like a, you know, start your life over again. You know, go back to the day you were born and forget everything that you've learned, Zach. Okay. You're going to have to learn how to speak again, walk again. You know, your taste buds.
Well, all I can say, Zach, is if that's the case, it's not because of your genetics.
Yeah. Well, my genes definitely are my genes are my problem. I keep busting out of them, but I mean, my genetics are not my problem. So, Sarah, how do people get a hold of you?
They can contact me either through Sarah at unzipthosegenes.com, my email there. There is a place on my website, which you can do unzipthosegenes.com or sarahcuoco.com. There's a contact form there. You can reach out to me. I am on Facebook. I am on Alignable. Yeah. And you can even book an appointment on my website. There's a link in there to book a Zoom or a phone call. Or if you're local, meaning the Grand Valley of Colorado, if you're local here, I'm always up for a coffee or just meeting in person. I love in-person meetings. So yeah,
they are kind of nice to be able to do those again. So,
it is.
You know, I'm looking forward to someday being able to do this test, and I'm definitely I'm wanting to talk to you about helping out this friend of mine. But with my test, you know, I'm going to have to make sure that there's a caveat in there. And, you know, you're talking about eating right. Well, Dairy Queen has got to be part of that eating right. They've got fruit. Come on. They've got fruit.
Yeah, that's like, you know, so
and dairy,
sugar, and added sugar, and I'm not going to tell you what you can and can't eat.
Orange Julius, I mean, that's like an orange juice.
Don't even get me started there, Zach.
Look, I'm on a never-ending quest to make Dairy Queen one of the 8 essential food groups. So,
Oh my goodness. Oh, you're a glutton for punishment, aren't you?
I look, let's be honest. Every time that I walk into Dairy Queen, you see the manager run over to the phone. It's like, he's back. I know you're on vacation, but get in here. Help. So,
My dad is probably, you and my dad are very much alike in that respect. Ice cream is the bane of his existence.
oh, I've always loved ice cream, and it was weird, Sarah, after my motorcycle accident, I was also always a pudding fan. And yes, that explains a lot of the way I look. I loved pudding and ice cream. But
I think you and my brother might be related, or you and my dad.
After the accident, the pudding just doesn't taste the same, and I don't know why that is. I don't know if that had to do with something. I know that your taste buds change every once in a while, but I just couldn't ever imagine something. If you would have told me in my 30s that I was gonna not, appreciate pudding, I would tell you you're out of your flipping mind. So, but Dairy Queen has never lost its allure to me. So
well, I'm a big believer in everything in moderation. I'm not going to, I do a lot of things for my health. It doesn't mean I never have ice cream. I also love ice cream. It doesn't mean that I never have cake or any of those things that I shouldn't. It just means that I'm very aware now of how different foods can affect me and even do. And so it's like, all right, what am I willing to put up with today?
Yeah. Well, you know what?
We make choices all the time, and that's what it comes down to it.
Truth is, I believe the same thing. Never more than a gallon of ice cream a day. Never more than that.
You're terrible.
So
you're terrible.
You can reach out to Sarah at sarahcuoco.com or Sarah at unzipthosejeans.com. Sarah at unzipthosejeans.com. You can also get a hold of Sarah by contacting us and going to communitypayitforward.us and putting in Sarah Cuoco, put Unzip, and it'll pop up on your screen. She is a giving partner, which means every time you make a purchase with her through us, she gives us a portion, and a portion of that portion is going to go towards the mission that you choose to support. So help us, help Sarah, help others. Sarah, this has been fun. This has really been a lot of fun. I always love talking to you. I appreciate the support so much. And is there anything else that you would like to tell everyone out there?
I can't think of anything else, Zach. I mean, like I said, if anybody's interested, reach out. If you are a practitioner and you'd like to learn how you can add this service to your practice, and I will say at no cost to you, let me know. We can talk. I'm happy to share information. And other than that, thank you so much for having me. It's always a pleasure talking to you. You're so much fun. And I love that we're here, and everybody, we're just trying to help as many people as we can in whatever way we are able to. So,
and if you would all like to learn more about Sarah and get to know her, you can also come and join us every Thursday morning at 8:00 Mountain Time on the Alignable Colorado group. So we are both part of that group. It's a great group. You get to meet some wonderful people. You can take and talk to Sarah a little bit more. So go to Alignable, look up their groups, and go to the Colorado group, and you can learn more about her. So Sarah's also on Alignable quite often. So that's another great place for you to get a hold of her. But Sarah, I want to thank you so very much for joining us. And remember, everybody, when you think of Sarah, just remember, enough fooling around. Let's unzip those jeans.
Let's unzip those jeans.
Thank you so much, my dear.
You're so welcome. Thank you, Zach.
Introducing Shop, Click, and Pick, the simplest way to support those doing good. We understand that shopping is a necessity, and with a slight adjustment, you can make a huge difference for those in need. Here's how it works. Visit communitypayitforward.us and navigate to the Find Your Partners tab. Discover our verified giving partners. trusted allies ready to meet your needs. Shop with any partner that resonates with you. Click a picture of your receipt or invoice. Pick a mission partner you wish to support and use their QR code to send a receipt to us. Then all you have to do is sit back and enjoy your purchase, knowing you've made a meaningful change for someone in need. Community Pay It Forward amplifies your business's impact by sharing your story with those who require your services, rallying support for those who need us all. Because no one needs to go it alone when we all come together. Hey everybody, how's it going? My name is Zach Clayton with Community Pay It Forward, Community Dare to Care, and the PACT channels. I need to also start adding in Community IMpACT because that's one of the biggest things that we're going to be doing. This is the best way to make a huge impact in your community. One of the things that we're really going to be focusing on this next stage of our existence, I guess is the best way to put it, is we are going to start focusing on helping you help others. And one of the people that we're working with who can really make a huge difference to do this is our friend Carolyn Rasmussen from Pampered Chef. This is a thing that Carolyn and I have been working together to find the right, to put it into a cooking theme, the right ingredients on making a perfect casserole. Okay, so that was a very, very stretched pun. I understand, but you know what? It works on this. We think we've come up with it. And these are going to be Pampered Chef Community Pay It Forward fundraising events. And what it is that we are going to help you raise money, advertise, tell people about your events, and possibly, depending on what's going on, even using our media outlets to share your parties and try to help you make a huge difference for the nonprofits that are in your heart. So these ones are not limited to the Community Pay It Forward mission partners. Now, saying that, including them, getting them with us in the Community Pay It Forward as a mission partner is the best way to continue to support them. But this is a way that you can continue to support or start to support organizations that you love. This is a video that Carolyn and I shot, and we want to share this with you, introducing you to this new program and giving you some information about some of the great things that we're going to be doing together. If you have any questions, I invite you to please give me a call at 970-909-0751, 970-909-0751. Please enjoy this video, and I will be back to close it out. Thank you. I'm really excited about this because we brought back Carolyn Rasmussen. How you doing, sweetheart?
I'm doing great. Thank you, Zach.
It's really good to talk to you again. Caroline and I were just talking about how we can really work with Pampered Chef and how we at Community Pay It Forward can really help make a huge difference. And we are going to do something with Pampered Chef that we don't really do with a lot of other people. What we are doing is we really want to support the nonprofits of your choice. But if you come through Community Pay It Forward with a nonprofit in mind, and you want to put together an event to raise money for them, no matter who they are, you come through Community Pay It Forward, we connect you with Carolyn, and we have a party Community Pay It Forward will help you advertise your party to try to get more people to show up at your party, working with Carolyn, and we will work towards doing more support and helping you out. So if you'd like more information, we'll be sharing, I'll be sharing out further information a little bit later. But Carolyn, let's talk a little bit more about this. This is a great chance for you guys to be able to get out there and learn more about some of the great causes that are out there.
Yes, absolutely. And I always love helping these organizations. And the cool thing about doing this with Pampered Chef is you're going to just have a link. When he says party, this doesn't mean you necessarily have to have people together. This is, I'm going to give you a link, and you get all your friends and family with you to help. And they purchase things. Right now, it is so expensive to go out and eat at a restaurant.
Yeah.
And you can funnel that money into one or two key pieces that make it so easy to cook at home, and you save tons of money day after day, right? So it's a money saving opportunity for your friends and family to cook at home. And I'm here to help with recipes, how to use the tools if they're having trouble with using it, or it didn't quite turn out like they expected to, and I can tweak and help them. Not like if you go to a regular store. So you got me in addition to the purchase. But when you buy to help your family, then you're also going to help the cause. So a percentage of the sale goes back, and Community Pay It Forward will be the sponsor of the fundraiser, but it'll be earmarked for your cause. So you can spread the word. The more orders, the better. I will have it set up so there will be kind of we call it table, and it's a platform that is private. It is just for Pampered Chef, and it is a private group. Think of it like a private party room. Do you remember, Zach, when we were young, or when your kids were young, and you do the parties at the skating rink or at the movie theater, and you get the private party room, right?
Oh yeah, yep.
So you'd rent that out. So think of it like that, because the only people in there are going to be the people that you are interested in being there, and me. And I will be able to facilitate, answer questions. There's going to be recipes. There's going to be tips. There's videos of products being used, all on this place, so that it's got a full immersive type feel, plus a virtual kitchen that you can walk through, this cool little cartoon kitchen that's got products. You can see it out on the counter and stuff. So it's a full opportunity, and then to pay it forward and let that purchase, which is not an upcharge, that chopper or whatever is the same price no matter how you buy it from Pampered Chef. And then the percentage will go back to Community Pay It Forward and then be earmarked for your organization.
By the way, just to let you know, and you know, you and I have talked a couple times over the years, and I ended up getting a can opener through you, and it actually is still working. Thank God we found a can opener that still works. So that to me is like amazing. I have never had a can opener that works more than 2 weeks, and now it's been a year and it's still working. So it's going great. I would like to just make a point on a point that you made, and you were talking about how expensive it is to go to a restaurant. You also don't know exactly what you're getting in that restaurant. You know, and look, this is coming from a guy who cooked. I cooked for 2 decades of my life. Okay, that was what I did. And you, and as a cook, one of the frustrating things is that you send out what is on the menu, but that might not be what the customer themselves sees. This is something where there's no confusion there. You create this for your family. You know exactly where you know how the sausage is made, literally. Okay.
Yes.
And you're in charge of it. You're in charge of doing this. And this is something that you really have great control over. And as you said, you also get to support and sponsor something that you love. And this is one way that we, Carolyn, yourself and I, and our respective companies, we get to take and hold your hand and help you as you're supporting a great community cause.
Absolutely. And, you know, Pampered Chef has been around, believe it or not, since 1980. So, you know, this fall it'll be 44 years, which is kind of crazy. But we stand behind our products. And, you know, like your can opener, we don't sell stuff that's not going to last. And that's been our hallmark forever. People have stones that they've had in their kitchen for 30 years. Yeah, it's a quality product that when you get it, you know that you'll be. Some people tell me, I thought I was a terrible cook. It wasn't that they were a terrible cook. They had terrible tools. And when you have the sharp knife, when you have the cookware that cooks evenly, there's a lot of stuff that it makes a difference in the results. And then you feel successful. But I have a superpower. And Zach, you and I haven't really talked about my superpower exactly, but my superpower is I'm a lazy cook. So I come up with really easy recipes. Okay. So people love to be able to cook for their family in 15 or 20 minutes, not 2 hours.
Yeah.
And I can break down meals. I can help break them down to cook for a few people, multiply them up for cooking for more people. My favorite recipe to talk about is the fajitas in the microwave with a certain rock crock. You can cook fajitas in 15 minutes from raw chicken to on the table.
Wow.
And you cook it in the microwave, and there's nothing wrong with cooking in the microwave. And believe it or not, it comes out phenomenal. And a pork tenderloin in the microwave is better there because you know what? Here's a secret. Your microwave stops and turns itself off. So when it turns itself off, it won't overcook because you know exactly how long to cook it.
See, that's amazing to me. I know that cooking pork tenderloin, and this is something that my wife refuses to cook pork tenderloin. She does not do it. She swears up and down, and my wife is a fantastic cook, but she swears up and down she cannot cook a tender pork tenderloin. That's my job. I do that. I have never in my life ever given an inkling of a thought to putting it in the microwave. That is intriguing. We're going to have to talk a little bit more about that. You know, you and I, we did a wonderful themed event last year for the 22-hour podcast going into 2023, where we did it around Mardi Gras, and that was one of the great things that you did. You know, you did a jambalaya, we did a chili, and you did a cake using, you know, the pop biscuit crescent rolls. And it's amazing some of the things that you come up with, and we were able to share that. What are some of the top things that people are able to create with some of the things that you sell?
My biggest thing is, you know, mealtime, because that's usually the biggest pain point. And so like the fajitas or the pork tenderloin in the microwave. But the other thing I love, you know, hey, let's cook once and eat twice.
Yeah.
If you're someone who doesn't mind leftovers, and if you do mind leftovers, get over it. So take a sheet pan and take, you know, these chicken breasts these days are giant, you know, so one chicken breast can feed 2 people. So take 2 chicken breasts, tenderize your chicken breast. Zach, you probably know it because you're a chef, right? You tenderize chicken breast. Always, always, always do not cook it without tenderizing it with the flat side, not the pokey thing. So tenderize your chicken breast and season them like you like it and wrap them in parchment paper. Get a giant sheet pan and take your 4 different vegetables, Brussels sprouts, sweet potatoes, broccoli, you know, whatever else you want to do, like 4 different ones, carrots maybe. Put those on the 4 corners, put those parchment paper wrapped chicken breasts in the middle, stick it in the oven. And I don't remember off the top of my head the temperature. It's like 350, 400 for 30 minutes or whatever. You've got 4 meals or 4 lunches right there, right? So, you know, there's a lot of things. It's just being a Pamper Chef consultant, I have at my fingertips a ton of recipes that our test kitchen and our nutritionists have put together. And then just through my experience, what I've done. And there's easy. I mean, we got all these awesome baking tools that make you look like a fantastic baker. And it's just because you had a tool that made it easier. You know, we're branching into coffee. So we got a frother if you're a coffee person. You know, the coffee drive-through is a little expensive. And if you could froth at home and put the syrup in yourself at home.
I've said this before, being a guy who rides a motorcycle, being anywhere near those coffee drive-throughs, it's like being anywhere near a bar. People lose their mind when they're driving around those things. Those things ought to be outlawed. People are insane to get into coffee places. So do it at home. I love this idea. I love, love this idea. You mentioned about the right tools. I would like to just tell you a story about a pan that we've got. We've got a pan that if you're not making, like if you're not just boiling water with it, it's useless. It scorches everything. It scorches everything. It's good for like boiling vegetables. You know, if you're going to boil corn on the cob, perfect pan for it. But if you're going to make a gravy, it's a terrible pan because it gets too hot on the bottom and the sides don't get, you know, and the sides just don't keep up with it. So you scorch on the bottom and you burn everything in it. These are what she's talking about. You have pans like the one that's behind you. And I swear I should have told you this earlier. You need to stand over a little bit because those ribs are making my stomach growl. But you know, but yeah, having a pan that's crafted for cooking is so important because you're right. You can really think that you're terrible at things, and it's just because something, if the bottom gets too hot and it doesn't match with the sides, it's going to burn everything.
Yeah. It absolutely does. And when you've got the core with the titanium and the aluminum, and so that it'll disperse the heat even up the sides, it's so much better than having the heat just where the burner is. And that makes a difference. And we even have a non-stick line that will do induction, and that's hard to find. Usually the induction does not work on non-stick pans because they're more aluminum. Aluminum's not magnetic, therefore induction doesn't work. So we have a lot of stuff. We have a whole cast iron line. But what's kind of behind me is all our serving stuff. This right here, this blue thing actually is not to cook in. It is an insulated bowl. That is a pasta salad, and it can be kept cold. So we have a little saying, it's a Yeti for your sketty. So you could put spaghetti in there and it'll stay hot. So think of the old school thermos. You could barely see the edge of it right up here, but it's silver. It's a metal inside and it's insulated. The lid will go on it and it seals. You can keep your beans hot without having to have a heat source. So it's really cool for picnics. And of course, that's cool and serve tray over here with a cold pack at the bottom. So, I mean, we've got everything that you need for your kitchen and more, and gadgets and everything else to make you look like a fancy cook, to help you be the cook for your family. It is important to me that I know what's in my food, which is what you said. Some people can't have as much salt. Some people don't like beans. Some people, can't eat gluten. All of our seasonings are gluten-free. We have a brownie mix and a chocolate chip cookie mix that are amazing, that are gluten-free. We have other cake mixes and meal starters, minestrone soup, and all this other stuff that you can make that takes the challenge out of cooking so that you don't mind cooking at home. Even if it's 2 or 3 nights a week that you change your habits, it makes a difference. And there's another piece, Zach, I know you were a dad and kids are very important to you. And sitting around the table and talking to your kids in the evening is huge. And it's very important in their development and your relationship. I'm about 4 months away from being an empty nester, but I've got 2 boys that called me first when anything happens in their life, because we are their core, their structure, their root. That I go back to the fact that we ate almost every dinner together.
There's nothing like it when I get to have one of the kids. We just got together with my wife's kids. We got together with us all, and we all sat down and we all ate together and we had a conversation. And this was the first time that we've ever been able to sit down and do that. And it was such a great time because me, as the guy who's just coming into their life, we got to learn a lot more about each other. And her son and we've had a couple dinners together. He's been able to come here, but meeting my daughter, in Oklahoma, and being able to sit down and have that extra time with her, that was great for me because now I get to know her a little bit better. I know more about the kids. I know more about this. My own sons, yeah, they're away now. when my youngest son, he still lives here in Colorado, but I don't see him very often. When he can come over and he sits down and we have a meal together and we're able to talk, we can get caught up. We can talk about the things that we talk about. He and I talk about hockey all the time, but this is a time he and I can sit here and actually talk about other things. Hey, how's work going? How's this going? What do you need help with? And you're right, it's so important to do that. The other part that you were talking about is, when you're cooking for your family, I got a father who has a heart condition right now. He's got to cut out on his salt. My wife and I are taking care of my parents. They're getting elderly. We cook for my parents every night, just about. And this is a way that we can make sure that, what? He's not, we don't have that pissed off cook in the kitchen going, yeah, you want light salt. Yeah. Not that ever happens.
We don't want to know what happens in the kitchen, Zach.
No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. So, but there you go. This is a great way to, reason to do this. One of the other things that you said about kitchen, having a kitchen party or having a cook over with your family and stuff, you don't want them to come over and see mismatched pots and pans and, hey, look at my spatula that, great grandma handed down to everybody that is all, pan fried on the end, and you can't slide nothing underneath it without squishing it. You want to have that nicest equipment in the world.
Yeah, absolutely. And it does make cooking, if cooking's a chore, it might be because of what's in your kitchen.
Yep. And I've heard a lot of people say, look, I love Pampered Chef, but it's a little expensive. But you have got a great reason why. That's because they have you.
Yeah, you get me. When you go to a big box store and buy a product, even if you go to the fancier ones that are more expensive, comparable in price, for quality, right? Or, we're under the price on some stuff and not on others. You leave the store, you're not going to get help. Mm-hmm. The biggest example is the pressure cooker phase, right? So many people have these electronic pressure cookers. There's, Instant Pot is the biggest name, right? That everybody knows, right? I can't tell you how many people have that in their kitchen, but they either only cook rice with it and it's a glorified rice cooker, or they're afraid of it and don't know how to use it. If you have one of those, call me. If you have mine, then call me. But I'm here. Yeah. Number one, I use everything. My kitchen is full. I've got nearly the whole catalog. Okay. So I use everything and I will be able to talk you through it. And if I haven't solved that problem, I've got resources of other people that have. And I can call a home office and the test kitchen. So there's a huge advantage to having a personal person to reach out to. It's like your agent, right? Like you have an agent for insurance and you have an agent because you can talk to them. Yep. And so that's where I come in and I'm always available. I've got something I do. It's called Recipe Club, and I'll text you a newsletter with a recipe once a month. It's actually usually got 3 recipes in it. I have that kind of stuff all the time. You have the personal part of it to help you. And if you get the product and you don't like it, I'll step you through, make sure you're using it properly. And if not, we'll return it. We've got a 30-day money back guarantee on everything.
Oh, again, this is a chance for you to cook. You don't have to be Gordon Ramsay and throw stuff across the damn kitchen. You can actually cook things, enjoy cooking, and be good at it as long as you have the right equipment. You did mention your emails that you send out. How do people get a hold of you, and how do people put themselves on your email list?
So that is a text list or on an email list. The best way, I'll probably have to, because I don't have this one memorized, is if you'll text me, give me a second here because I have a work number and that work number hasn't stuck in my head yet. And so I got to pull it up really quick. 469-397-4406. And that will, you can text me there. You can call me there. Text is probably better. And I can get back with you on anything that you need, any questions. Go through Zach if you want to set up one of these fundraisers through him. And, a percentage of that coming back is amazing. And you're helping them. Like you're helping everybody in your family upgrade their kitchen so that they can cook at home. And then we'll also raise funds for your favorite organization.
Carolyn, one of the things that you and I talk about quite often, and one of the things that I really need to make sure that people understand, one of the best things about you doing this, okay, is one, you are raising money, which is vital for nonprofits, okay? Nonprofits, charity causes, they need money. They do. But you know what? There's another thing that you're adding onto this that is just as important. You are telling people about what they do. And this is a party. Okay, this is a party where you don't have to have people in the same kitchen to do this. You guys can be all over the country, and we can help you put this together. And we are proud to be teamed with Carolyn on this journey to make this happen. If you want, just, you know what? I don't want a party. I just want to buy stuff. Buy it through us. Buy it through Carolyn, and you get to support one of the missions that have asked us for help. This is a way that you can really make a huge difference in your kitchen for something you love. And great for the people you love, using people that hopefully you kind of like. So, I think that's great. Once again, that number is 469-397-4406. 469-397-4406. Sorry, y'all got to look up my neck and me reading there, kind of the old man reading. What is that? So, what right now is on sale that you suggest everybody should have?
So right now on sale is our bakeware. So the hottest thing I think in our bakeware, and I don't think I have it sitting next to me right here, I'd grab it, is our brownie pan. And think of it like 12 squares. Okay. And so everyone gets a crust, right? They're probably, yay big. But that brownie pan isn't just for brownies. Like for your parents, this is a perfect example. And for anybody else, portion control is a big issue, right? What if you made personal meatloaf? Or what if you made a breakfast casserole in each one of those and then put them in the freezer? So in the morning, you have a homemade breakfast casserole that all you got to do is put it in the microwave to warm it up, because it's already pre-cooked. I mean, you can make using the frozen raviolis, you can make lasagna in there. Super easy. Again, it's a little bit of process, but not completely processed, and you're controlling somewhat of it. But you can make so many things in that brownie pan ahead, and then you've got that night that's crazy that you're running in the door at 7 o'clock and you still want to eat and you don't want to go through the drive-through. Your freezer's full.
Yep.
So the brownie pan, it's got a beautiful kind of a Tiffany blue backside, and it's non-stick, so it's easy to clean. You have amazing dessert makings I could do corn muffins and regular muffins, but then you can also make savory and meals out of it too.
Well, I want to also remind everybody that, this is a perfect time to tell everybody exactly what we always say. This is a perfect time. If you make a little bit too much food, you can always put it in the old butter bowl that you just emptied to create your creation, and take it out and share it with somebody out there who needs your help, who's struggling with hunger. I mean, this is such a perfect idea. Again, we don't have it right at this recording, but by the time this recording happens, if you look down right about now, there's going to be a code down there. If you follow that code, we will help you get set up with Carolyn, and you can have an event for any nonprofit you choose. It doesn't matter. You deal with the nonprofit, but we will help you advertise, and we may even help you. I don't know. We might be able to help you take in and share it with more people. We can talk about that. So there's a lot of things that we can do here at Community Pay It Forward, because we support Carolyn and we support Pampered Chef, because we know that they support other people. So please give her a call, or send her a text at 469-397-4406. Get yourself on her mailing list, but more importantly, let's have a party. Let's cook some things. Let's get some stuff sold, and let's support a nonprofit out there while you're doing some good things for your family. Maybe even impress them a little bit, huh? So prove to them that you are a chef. So Carolyn, would you like to finish off by saying anything else?
No, that's it. Other than one thing you reminded me of is, and I love this quote from Ratatouille: anyone can cook. So you just have to make sure you have the right stuff to do it.
Yep, that's right. That's right. Look, yeah, cooking is also something that is, you can probably attest to this. Cooking is something great to do with your family. I know my wife and her son, they're on the phone at least 4 nights a week. He lives in Oklahoma. We're in Colorado. They're on the phone 4 nights a week talking about what they're cooking. Cooking is family. This is a great way to make your extended family be part of what you're doing together. So give us a call. We can help you build your party. Let's get your kitchen the focus of a lot of great things happening, helping other people. So for Carolyn Rasmussen, my name is Zach Clayton with Community Pay It Forward and Pampered Chef. Hey, let's work to help so many people together and cook some great food like those ribs.
Introducing Shop, Click, and Pick, the simplest way to support those doing good. We understand that shopping is a necessity, and with a slight adjustment, you can make a huge difference for those in need. Here's how it works. Visit communitypayitforward.us and navigate to the Find Your Partners tab. Discover our verified giving partners, trusted allies ready to meet your needs. Shop with any partner that resonates with you. Click a picture of your receipt or invoice. Pick a mission partner you wish to support and use their QR code to send a receipt to us. Then all you have to do is sit back and enjoy your purchase, knowing you've made a meaningful change for someone in need. Community Pay It Forward amplifies your business's impact by sharing your story with those who require your services, rallying support for those who need us all. Because no one needs to go it alone when we all come together.
Would have really been weird if I would have taken and there at the very end of that, taken, condensed the screen and had 3 of me on the screen. That would have been scary. Plus, you would have had to have like an extra wide screen to see me. Very, very busy show. Probably more information than you can hold in your head for one night. I know it's more information. That's the reason why I had to record that in 3 different episodes, is because I couldn't remember it all. Some of the important takeaways on that, with Carolyn, we are working to support causes everywhere. Causes that you don't have to be part of the Community Pay It Forward family to support. We want you to be. We hope you see the benefit in being one of our partners, our mission partners. But, hey, let's get started by getting you hooked up with a Pampered Chef party. And when we do that, we will help you tell people about it. Hopefully we'll help you get some people there. If we get some people there, we may even be able to show that event right here on the PAC channel. Then with Sarah Cuoco, look, our genes make up our lives. Genes are very, very important for everything that we are. Science is finding out stuff all the time. Take the test. See what the science says. Help yourself. Help yourself. And then, of course, I want to once again thank Melissa Lozada for coming, for joining us again and making a huge difference. And, introducing this wonderful, wonderful program, World Music Development. I think it was kind of funny. One of the things that we didn't touch on, Saam made mention that if you look at the initials that they use, WMD. We all know what that means in the war sense. Well, this is the way to conquer that war the war sense, and we're going to turn that into something special. World Music Development, conquering hate, conquering problems in the world by supporting music everywhere. Scan the QR code that you see right here on this page, and every bottle of wine that you purchase is going to go to support World Music Development. I want to thank Saam for joining us, and I want to remind you to please visit their website at worldmusicdevelopment.org, worldmusicdevelopment.org. Get a hold of him at SAAM at worldmusicdevelopment.org, and visit their other website, which is elevationmusicfest.com, about an upcoming event. I know that a lot of my friends in the western side of the state, maybe this is a chance for us all to get together and do something special. They are looking for vendors. They're looking for people to participate, and tickets are free. So this is a chance to come up. Beautiful mountains right here in Colorado. Come visit the mountains and make a huge difference with World Music Development. That's it. That's all. We got it all in. There's a lot more I need to say, but we're going to have to wait until next week. Next week, we're going to have quite a show with our buddy Les is going to be here, Les Simpson. There has been a change, and unfortunately, Finmore is no more. But he's going to be talking about a brand new program, and I can't wait for him to introduce it to you, and we'll see what that can do to help people out. We're also going to have Tanya Block-Rousen coming, and she's going to talk to us about a program that I'm going to tell you something. It has taken and really opened up a way, networking, digital networking in a huge way for us. So she's going to be talking about her program, and hopefully we'll have one or two more people. But that's it for me, folks. Thank you for joining us at Community IMpACT. I appreciate it very, very much. If you want to get a hold of me, communitypayitforward.us, communitypayitforward.us, Zach at communitypayitforward.us, or send me a text. Texting is the best way to get a hold of me, 970-9090-751, 970-9090-751. Please make sure you help somebody out there, because you know what? We're all we got. Look, if you're helping no one, you're hurting everyone. So let's make sure nobody has to go it alone when we all come together. Thank you very much. I will see you next week. Just remember, folks, we're all in this together. Let's work together. Love somebody out there, because somebody out here loves you. I appreciate it. See you next week.
Show me the way. You wanna hold the heart of Sunset Boulevard. Bring me here, 'cause it's not quite clear to be a part